Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Hope you're doing good. This is a Q&A. It is actually Q&A number 4. I looked back on how many Q&As I've done because I was quite unsure. And since I started my channel, which is getting on for 3 years now, I've done 3. So this is my 4th. So if you want to watch any earlier editions, you can watch them down below. So this is the Q&A number 4. So as always, I asked on my Instagram for you all to send me questions, and I have randomly picked out, I think I've got 12 questions. If we've got time, we'll do a couple more maybe. I'll look on my phone and see what the latest questions are. We will see. So I like these. It gives you a little bit of insight into me. I'm going to try and answer questions I haven't answered before, because if I'm answering the same questions, what's the point? And we'll delve a bit deeper, but not too deep. So let's go. So question number 1, would I write a book? And if so, what would it be? I like this. It's really funny that I got this question, because a few days ago I was actually thinking about what would I put in my book. So that's really strange. But anyway, would I write a book? I most definitely would write a book. What would it be? I think it would have to be my life story. But I think if I'd done it, I was thinking about this, it would be very raw, it would be very real, and it would be very gritty and pretty revealing, I think. So to me, if I was to write a book, what's the point in writing a book if it's not gonna be like a tell-all, shall we say? So if I was to write a book, it would have to be a life story, but a real raw life story, if you know what I mean. Will I ever write a book? Who knows? If that's in the plan, then it will be. But yes, I would. If the offer came up, I'd write a book. Okay, number 2. I use Liz Earle, but it's expensive. It is expensive. What would you recommend? Yes, Liz Earle is expensive. The face wash, cleanse and polish is expensive. So is the Boost Tonic. Now, I feel exactly the same. And what I tend to do is alternate. So I've got the Liz Earle cleanse and polish. But then I'll use Aldi's version, which I can totally recommend. Most of the ingredients, if not all of them, I don't know, are the same, but obviously a lot cheaper. I feel like it's £2 or £3, whereas for a big tube of cleanse and polish, you're talking what, 30 odd quid, you know. So I do alternate myself. As for the Boost Tonic, that itself is pricey. I think that's either £16 or £18, I think. Although someone did message me, thank you to whoever you were, and let me know that it was on £10. It was on Tuesday's £10 deals or something. Tuesday £10 deal at Boots. So that's a good deal if you can get that, because that's £6 or £8 off. But if not, I use, and I also alternate also with Aldi's Glyconic Tonic, which is a dupe of the Pixie one, which I have shown in some videos before, and I find that really good. I really like that. So my recommendations would be 2 products from Aldi for cheaper alternatives. Aldi's version of the cleanse and polish, and Aldi's version of the Glyconic Pixie Glyconic Tonic. I would totally recommend them too. So I hope that has helped. Question number 3. Okay, what's your best piece of mum advice, especially for younger toddlers, babies? Okay, so I've got to really think back now. Obviously, because my eldest is 23 and my youngest is 10. So I've got to go back a long time. But the first thing that comes to my mind is that time from the newborn to, we'll say, school age, just goes by so quick. Time goes by so quick anyway. but it literally goes by in a flash. And I know it's hard then when you're getting no sleep. You know, I've been there, when you're getting no sleep and, you know, that you just can't switch off. It is constant, and it's hard. But in hindsight, and hindsight is a wonderful thing, I have the privilege of hindsight, and looking back, that time goes so quick, that really make the most of it. Don't feel pressured. I mean, social media is more relevant now than if we go back to, let's say, when Atticus was a baby, even though obviously it was about. So I would say that the pressure to do everything perfect, and, you know, the pressure probably to feel you've got to get yourself dressed and the baby dressed and get out the house and show that you're doing this, that and the other is, you know, that's all there more nowadays than it was when I, let's say, definitely from when I had Anna and from when I had Atticus. But you know what? Make the most of it. Stay in them pyjamas. It doesn't matter. As long as your baby, toddler, is happy, healthy, fed, you know, looked after well, that you yourself are happy, healthy and looking after yourself, which is the number one, because if you're not in a good place yourself, how can you look after your child? As long as them two things are in place, it doesn't matter if you have 5 pyjama days in a row. It doesn't matter. Live your life for you. Make the most of your baby. Make the most of your toddler. Treasure the memories. Take lots of photos. Take lots of photos. And now obviously you can take your videos as well. That would be my advice. Just totally make the most of it, because life goes by in just a flash. And I know it's difficult on the long days of no sleep, but that will pass. It will be replaced by other things. But the sleepless nights will go. They will pass, like everything. So that would be my advice. Just concentrate on you and your baby. Make the most of your baby or toddler and look after yourselves. Number 4. Does Atticus have contact with his dad? Very simple. Yes, he does have contact with his dad. He always has done since he was born. I don't obviously show that on my social media. I don't include that in my YouTube videos, because that is Atticus's personal life, and that really has no place in my work. So that is all Atticus's life, but of course he has regular contact with his dad. Number 5, where do you see yourself in 5 years' time? This was from you, Corrine, so hi. This was a tricky one. This was a tricky one, because I find you can answer these questions, and where you actually end up in 5 years' time, as opposed to where you actually see yourself, are just so different, aren't they? It's all about perspective. Where do I see myself in 5 years' time? So that would make me the grand old age of almost 55. Wow. I would like to say that I can see myself living by the sea. We'll see. In 5 years' time, I will look back on these videos and we will see if that is happening in 5 years' time. So hopefully live by the sea. Obviously to see my children healthy and happy and settled in whatever they're doing. And living a happy life. Yeah, for me, living, fingers crossed, living by the sea, making the most of every day. Will I still be doing this? Will I still be doing social media as a job? Who knows? Who knows? I can't even say that. But hopefully, I'll say again, living by the sea, putting it out there, and being happy in a job, whatever that may be, that I love, and making the most of every day, and just enjoy them years of, you know, getting older, I guess. You know, the chances are, will I have grandchildren in 5 years' time? Anastasia, will I have grandchildren? you know, where Anastasia's concerned, I might be a grandmother, you know, which would give another dimension to my life. So who knows? But I can say very firmly at this point that in 5 years' time, I'd love to be living by the sea, and on a personal level, being happy in whatever job I am and just living life to the full and doing things that make me happy. I'm going to have a sip of my coffee. We went for a change today. Went for a cappuccino. I always go for a flat white, and I went for a cappuccino. So I'm going to have a little bit of this, and we'll move on to the next question. Question number 6. Do you believe in the supernatural, and have you any stories that ever happened to you? Do I believe in the supernatural? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Not that I have any stories to tell. I sort of wish I did. Because I've often thought that too, that nothing I can say, like if someone said to me, like, have you ever seen any hard evidence of the supernatural, then my answer would be, no, I haven't. No, I haven't. Myself. There were a few bits in a previous house a long time ago that I used to live in, where the person that I lived with at the time said that they saw certain things, felt certain things, okay? You know, could that have been their imagination, or did they really? Who knows? Only they sort of know that, or maybe they don't even know that. But from my personal point of view, I never saw anything, I never felt anything, and I never ever have. No hard evidence for me at all to say that the supernatural exists. But I do believe in it, because there has been so much that I've read, seen, other people's stories, and to be honest, I mean, I say that now, you know, but it's like, you know, if tonight I woke up and I saw, you know, a ghost or something, I'd absolutely probably pass out. But sitting here in the cold light of day, yeah, I would. I'd like to see proof, evidence, because I do believe in it, but I'd like to see proof to me personally, see it with my own eyes. Give me an idea. I'd really like to do a video, actually. Maybe that's an idea of, like, people sending me their supernatural stories and me reading them out and having a good old, like, spooky, you know, chat. And I think that could be a really good video. That is a possibility. Let me know if you'd like that. Obviously I wouldn't name any names in the videos, just literally, you know, tell the stories of what I've been sent. Okay, number 7. What's your favourite breed of dog? I know, do you know what? I still and ah about getting a dog. I really do. And my favourite breed, if I had to choose, I would go for, because I think they're very cheeky, a sausage dog. I'd go for a sausage dog. They're so cheeky, aren't they? And got such sass. They've got these little legs and they've got such sass. And I think because they're so low down, they're so small, and they feel they have to, like, really bark loud to make themselves seen and heard, and they'll give it all that. And I love that. I love a sausage dog. I did actually, a couple of years ago, I was quite close to getting one. But something's always made me think, no, you know. And I'm sure when the time is right and I 100% want to do it, then I will do it. And it would be a sausage dog. So, question number 8. What's one of the hardest parts of doing social media? Love your videos. Okay, so now, if you'd have asked me this question a couple of years ago, my answers would have been completely different. But now, present time, one of the hardest parts of doing social media. Me, on a more practical level, editing is very, very time consuming, depending on what type of video. And that does take up a lot of my time. So on a practical level, I would say editing on a practical level. It's not hard, but it's very, very time consuming. On a psychological level, I would say it's not really even pressure, but the need for me to always be aware. When you're on social media, you've got to be very, very aware most of the time, all of the time really. I'd probably say that, if anything, but I don't really feel the pressure of that. But if I had to name anything, it would be that. Where social media is concerned, to be honest, I can't really, like, there's nothing that, like I said, the editing on a practical level, but other than that, you know, one day I might get an editor. You know, I've had so many offers of people offering to be my editor, and you know, I'm just not ready for that. I'm just not ready for that at the moment, not at all. But who knows later on? So you know, that could happen. But to be honest, most things I like. If you asked me 2 years ago, it would have been, you know, the comments, the haters would have got to me. Now it's just part of it, and I just, you know, I just let them have their opinion. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, you know. And that's it really. That's my answer to that really. Just the need to be aware really can be quite, you know, quite a big thing. So yeah, that is my answer to that. Number 9, what do you use on your eyebrows? They are looking really good recently. Thank you very much. I use what I have always used. Well, not always, but for the last probably couple of years, but I do them differently. I use the Maybelline Tattoo Brow, which is in a little pot, which I've found you can't get in the shops now. I have to order mine off Amazon. I use that in dark brown. It's like a pomade. I use that. And obviously I will fill them in because they are very sparse. And then what I do, I have this brush, and I will brush the brows up so that blends in the product very well. And I brush them all the way through, which I never used to do. But what I do want to try, let me know in the comments if you have tried it. I've heard a lot about it recently, is the e.l.f. brow gel. Because I thought apparently it gives the brows that laminated look, and I thought probably apply my tattoo brow, brush through, and then put the e.l.f. gel on top. Maybe I thought I'd give that a go. So let me know if you've used that. I want to pick that up and see the e.l.f. brow gel. But thank you very much, and that's the only thing I do different. I just brush it through a lot more. Number 10. I like this one. What are the 4 things on your bucket list? On my bucket list. 4 things. If I had to sit here and say now, 4 things. I would like to travel a lot more. I think that's a bit vague. I need to say where. I think one place on my bucket list would be, I'd love to go to Egypt. I'd love to go to Egypt and see the pyramids. I'd absolutely love that. That would be on my bucket list. Probably like to skydive. Even though I know that moment when I'm like at the door of the plane and I'm about to go, it would be, I can't imagine how I'd feel. I'd still like to do it, to know how it feels. So I'd like to skydive. Thailand, I'd like to go to Thailand as well. Egypt, Thailand, skydive, one more thing. I'd like to run the London Marathon. There you go. There you go, London Marathon. Yes, I would. I know the training's quite hard. I'm actually planning on starting my running again, actually. I'm just waiting for my running trainers to come because I had some Nike ones and I wore them on the Wendell Walk that we done a few weeks back now, and they got absolutely wrecked. So I want to start my running again, more so not for any other reason really than my mental health. That is predominantly the reason. So I'm waiting for my, ordered some Adidas running trainers this time, so I'm waiting for them to come, and then I'm going to start up my running again. I'm not putting too much pressure on myself. I think I'm going to pick up my, the Couch to 5K from where I left off, because that's still at the point, it's on my phone, it's on my watch still, and I can pick that up where I left off, so I think I'm going to do that. So how did we get onto that how did we get onto that from bucket list to my running? That's it, the London Marathon. So yeah, we will say number 1, Egypt, number 2, Thailand, 3, skydive, and number 4, run the London Marathon. There you go. They're the 4 things on my bucket list. 11. Has starting YouTube changed your life? Yeah. Hard to imagine life before YouTube. It's really weird. I think I've been doing it almost 3 years. So if I go back to before then, it's changed my life incredibly. It's given me so many opportunities. It's given me freedom, which you can't put a price on. It's given me time. Freedom and the time it has gave me. Obviously, it comes with its financial gains, which we'd all be lying if we said it doesn't make life easier, and it gives you peace of mind. But ultimately, it is the freedom it has gave me and the time. So YouTube has changed my life significantly. And now we're on to the last question. I don't know how long this video's been actually. 12. Do you ever want to get... Oh yeah, I remember this now. We'll finish on this one. I might look on my phone for another couple, we'll see. Do you ever want to get into another relationship, or are you happily single? Again, if you'd have asked me this a few years ago, the answer would have been completely different, but we evolved, don't we? And we changed so much, and we don't even realise it's happening. Today, as I am sitting here, I am very, very happily single. Many reasons for that. My life is very full without adding a serious relationship to that. So if I was to get into a serious relationship, was the question, it would, the relationship would have to add so much value to my life to make it worth it. And that is the thing, when you get to a certain level in life, and when I say level in life, I don't mean anything to do with financial now. When you get to a certain level in life of being happy with yourself, of fulfilling yourself, you can't deal with rubbish, you can't deal with flakiness, your whole being just doesn't tolerate it. So it would take one special guy, as in, you know, to come into my world. You know, it would be, well, it could happen any day to anybody. You know, who knows? Again, if it's in the plan, it'll happen. But today, as I sit here, I am very, very happily single. We look on my phone for another couple of questions. Let's have a look, because I know they're still coming in thick and strong, so I'll do you an extra 2 questions. Let's have a look. What are the latest ones? Hey, we've got, do you know where you are spending Christmas this year? I do know where we're spending Christmas this year. I do know. Pretty likely to be spending it at Center Parcs this year, which I absolutely loved last year. And how are we talking about Christmas already? I get that, because we're now in July. We've got August, and then it's literally September when we start thinking about Christmas, don't we? Now, that's just wrong, isn't it? That's just wrong. Because that's like yesterday. We were at Center Parcs. It's not right, is it? Concept of time's gone a bit crazy. It's not right. I've been arrested. Never been arrested. Never been arrested. Oh, I like this one. Would you like to visit Scotland? I'd love to visit Scotland. I'd really like to visit Scotland. And we'll go for one more. To them a bit, because some of them are very, very, very nosy. What would I be doing if I wasn't doing YouTube? There you go. We'll finish on that one. I've got no flipping idea what I'd be doing in some type of job, obviously. But what I'd be doing, I've got absolutely no idea. Absolutely no idea, because that's not the case. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed finding out a bit more about me. So yeah, let me know in the comments. Is he coming down here? No, he's not. I still get that even, what, nearly 3 years down the line. You know, that could be something actually about social media, when you have to film in front of people and bits like that. It's still a little bit of a... yeah, that probably is always there. Probably always will be. Anyway, let me know in the comments about the supernatural video, because I think that's a really good one. I'd find that so interesting, doing that. So interesting. I hope you'd find it interesting watching it. So let me know. And if that's the case, then I will put feelers out for like supernatural stories and stuff that I could include. Here's my Q&A. Number 4. Finished for today. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you very, very soon for another video. Bye.